there are 249 total reported cases of COVID-19, which is about 100 more cases than our last numbers reported. And sadly, we also have 2 additional deaths, bringing our total number to 6. I do want to point out, Alma, that out of that 249, about 50% of them fall into the 18 years old to 49 years old age group, while those who are 65 years old and above account for about 22%. So at least for Las Vegas, we can validate the misconception that only those who are 65 years old and above can contract the disease. Our seniors are showing that lower number right now because they're the ones who are staying home more. One of the measures put in place to protect them is that the stores are reserving time for them to do their grocery shopping, usually the first 2 hours of business. And also doctors are advising them to cancel their routine appointments for now. Some updates from our local government. Governor Sisolak held a press conference yesterday where he announced an emergency directive prohibiting gatherings of 10 or more people in any indoor or outdoor area. So that's been extended. He issued that directive last week, but now it's been extended to public places as well, such as our parks, our playgrounds, basketball or volleyball courts outdoors. He just really wants to be proactive and continually encouraging Nevadans to stay home to mitigate the community spread of COVID-19. But to be clear, he did say this doesn't include people who live in the same household or people working together for essential businesses. In addition to that, he also signed an emergency regulation limiting the issuance of prescription for chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine to prevent people from hoarding them. He said there is no conclusive evidence that those drugs can treat COVID-19 at this time. So he wants to make sure that they are available for those who really need it for its current medical use. In regards to, as a follow-up to the directive that he gave last week for all non-essential businesses to shut down for 30 days, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, specifically the Special Investigations Section, has been conducting compliance checks by randomly going to non-essential businesses. They also urge the public to report any of them that are out of compliance by calling 311. And we can really see this mandated shutdown being followed at the Las Vegas Strip. We drove down Las Vegas Boulevard the other night, and the sidewalks that are usually filled with, thousands of people are completely empty. And some of the properties even have their lights out. And I probably saw about 10 people walking around, and there were police cars parked with their siren lights on at several intersections. Now, about the food, restaurants, food-related businesses in the smaller communities, they do remain open, but mostly serving out of drive-through or offering curbside pickup. About the schools, there's a good chance that they will not return to finish the school year. Governor Sisolak announced 2 days ago that 16 out of 17 school districts in Nevada have submitted plans to the Nevada Department of Education to continue with distance learning. And it's really important for those submission of those plans because that will ensure continued funding for the schools. As far as our international airport, there was a flight controller who tested positive for COVID-19, prompting the closure of one of their air traffic control towers last week, which resulted in hundreds of flights being canceled. So as of yesterday, I still see a lot of cars on the road, people at the park, riding their bikes, running or walking. But I have observed that people do keep their social distancing, especially at the grocery stores. And for the most part, people seem to be more friendly, asking each other how they're doing, smiling at each other. And that's the way it should be. In Las Vegas, Anna Cui, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Anna, before I let you go, I just wanted to, I want to ask, have there been, in South Korea, there has been widespread testing, if not what measures are being undertaken to clip the spread of the virus? Has there been widespread testing also in the United States now? I know
in the United States, well,
yeah.
in Las Vegas, I was speaking to one of the medical directors of one of the medical group here, and that is one of the challenges that they're having is that the lack of the testing kits that are being sent. Although as of beginning of this week, we hear of more places that are testing. They're doing drive-by testing. UNLV is actually offering out. Also, they place a tent outside where they do testing. So I believe overall we could still use a lot of testing kits.
What are the latest findings by the doctors or researchers or scientists in your country?
In regards to maybe in regards to trials, drug trials, they talked about the hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine that might be effective. Actually, in addition to that, I also read about the Z-Pak, which is the azithromycin. It's an antibiotics that they are doing trials in New York. Actually, I heard that they started doing that. So hopefully that it will be effective in treating this COVID-19.
All right. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for your time, and do take care over there.
Thank you, Alma.